Welcome to the G-Spot.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's G-Spot. It's been a while, but here we are with Ray. How are you, Ray?
I'm not too bad. I thought you were going to press play, so I pressed play. I'm just getting back.
Yeah, you really I can tell it's been a while. You're a bit premature with the G-Spot there, Ray.
Not the wing.
Now, this is only the 38th edition of the G-Spot, and I know sort of pre-Christmas I've talked a lot about wanting to look at a lot of different things, but just life got in the way. Now, obviously, I've kind of been forced into doing this not forced, that's not the wrong word, but I've had to make sure I do this G-Spot, because we did have a couple of things reported from Race 2 of the Not Amused. So with them being reported, it's only I think it's only fair that we have a look at them and see who we're going to blame.
Yep.
Yeah. Would you like to explain what the G-Spot is about for those that don't know, Ray?
It's for like steward reports or funny things that happen or educational purposes for the drivers.
Absolutely. Like Don't Drink and Drive, Dave, last night, when he complained at Ray for overtaking him after going wide at a corner. I don't know, shocking behaviour. So, yeah, don't drink and drive, folks. So we get to look at all sorts of different things. Now, the first three things we're going to look at today are the incident reports from the second race in the DGT League. So do we just crack on, Ray? Do we dive head first into it? Okay.
Yep.
Right, well, I'll give us a little countdown into play and we'll get on to this first one. So we'll get ready to go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. G1, race 2 report. Art Pal and Jason went to become one. So Art Pal said, I think penalties might be harsh, but I think these warrant a review. 13:22, is this a late move by Jason? Well, what we'll do is we'll have a look at what the steward's report says. So the steward's view was Jason was a little too far back to attempt an overtake initially, but closed up under braking because Art Pal had to apply caution with cars in front of him. Art Pal took a normal, wide line into the corner, which left the door open for Jason to complete an overtake with minor contact at the apex. Verdict being no penalty, as this was deemed an opportunistic overtake rather than an unfair one. While Jason's move was a little too late, this wasn't a dive bomb and he was in control of his car throughout, making the apex easily. The contact was caused by Art Pal turning into Jason, but Art Pal was not to blame for this given the late move from Jason. So in a moment we'll actually get to have a look at that footage. So basically no penalty, but kind of saying, yeah, Jason did come from it was a little late, but it's definitely not a dive bomb, and he hasn't really done anything wrong as the circumstances will show. Now on this view, Ray, unfortunately we don't really get much of a view of the sort of heading into the corner. We just see them sort of in the middle of the corner and on the exit. Now this view from Art Pal, you see Jason in the mirror, it does look like it comes from a long way back, and I can understand why from that view Art Pal may think, no bomb! So, on board with Art Pal still as Ray just watches, and perhaps we've never seen this footage before. I hope he has. So let's have a look from Jason's view. So let's see, what do you make of this one then, Ray?
Yeah, like the door's wide open there. Art Pal's not defended that, so it's a bit of an opportunistic move, and I wouldn't say it was a dive bomb.
No, it isn't a dive bomb, and also Jason is trying to give the space. Now, it's clear to see from here, yes, Jason is quite a long way back, but as this progresses on, it's not like he's definitely not gone for a dive bomb, but as he's going to the braking zone and is slowing down for the corner, the space is there for him to safely go into. So although it is a move that is happening late, it's not a move that is happening dangerously. And I think that's one of the big factors for the stewards, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, as well, from Art Pal's perspective, it'd be too late for him to really spot that Jason could be coming there. So he gets Swedish juice all over him. Boom, boom. But yeah, so if you're in Art Pal's position, you might turn in and suddenly there's a car there. And again, if you're Jason, you can't really blame Art Pal for turning in, which I'm going to say Jason didn't. Anything else to add on that one, Ray?
Nope.
No? Okay, well, as we see, Jason was in control of his car through the apex. There was a bit of contact. Jason is doing everything he can to leave plenty of space, and there we go. Okay, so on to the next one then in about 5 seconds' time, because, yeah, I'd not done that. So G2, race 2, report from Art Pal. Was it me? It was me. Me, was it? Me, it was. Okay, so 29-26. I think I might have nudged Conrad going into the corner, resulting in him going a little wider and losing 1 or 2 places. I didn't notice at the time, I only spotted it on the replay. Now, the stewards have said Conrad was side by side with Demon R and received a slight nudge from Art Pal under braking, and Art Pal then completed an overtake. The stewards' verdict is no penalty. While Conrad did run slightly wide after being nudged, the contact was deemed not significant enough to be classed as a push to pass, and it was also noted that Conrad did not report this incident. If this report from Art Pal was purely intended as an apology to Conrad for the contact, then we would suggest in future to message a driver directly with an apology, as they may whatever that said. So I clearly talked a bit slower than when I practiced that. So we'll have a quick look at this then, Ray. Do you want to talk us through it?
Yeah, as we come into the final corner, I don't know what track, there's a little, very minor dip, and I don't know, Conrad's leaving space because he knows Demon R's there as well, so there's so many factors taken into account here.
Yeah. Also, the view that I just showed prior to the bonnet view here is the view that Art Pal uses, and even when I saw that, I was like, okay, did he touch him? I don't know. It was only when I went on to another view, I was like, okay, yeah, he did. There was the tiniest little nudges, but as you said, Conrad and Demon R are side by side, so Conrad is giving Demon R space, so his corner is compromised a little bit as well. Also, the positions that Conrad really loses doesn't happen for like another 2 or 3 corners, so we wouldn't say it's the same thing. So as we're looking at this is just to show that, yeah, Demon R and Conrad are side by side. There was a little touch. Excuse me. Now, it's one of those where I think had Demon R not been there and it had just been Art Pal and Connor wanting the apex and that touch stopping him from getting there, it might have been a different scenario or a different outcome. But again, this is where every situation is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, so we'll crack on straight to the third. G3, Art Pal, where did he come from? Where did he go? Okay, so this one, I don't think Bob makes the corner without going into Dave the Harp, which results in impact to my car and me losing a position. Okay, so this was quite late on in the race, and the steward's view on this one is, drumroll please, Dave the Harp and Art Pal were side by side approaching the corner, while Bob was alongside 2 of the cars behind. Bob braked too late for the corner and hit Dave at the apex. Bob did not overtake Dave, but did move ahead of Art Pal. The steward's verdict is a stage 2 penalty to Bob for an unfair overtake, because Bob braked far too late for the corner given he was on the inside of 2 of the cars and was not under control of his car at any point. He only made the corner by hitting Dave, and that helped him in completing the overtake on Art Pal. Now, we've got some interesting views of this one, I believe, Ray, and yeah, I don't know, I don't personally really know what to say about it, other than this view doesn't really show too much, which is what I think we had on the commentary. So in commentary,
Yeah.
we like there was not really a lot going on there, but once we look at this from other camera angles, like this one, and it's like, hello, driving along, doo-doo-doo, meow, bosh. To be fair, it's not the worst I've ever seen. But
And he doesn't leave the room and nearly squeezes Art Pal off at the exit.
Now, there's a couple of interesting factors with this. There's a possibility that Bob may not have thought there was too much wrong here, and I'll get onto that in a moment. But what we'll say is, obviously what the stewards have said is that Bob was side by side with two other cars, that being Demon R and SRI. So the Bob move on Demon R and SRI is fine, but clearly we can see that he has braked way too late, ended up the inside alongside Dave, and that's a situation where Dave would have had no opportunity to realise that Bob was coming. Also Bob not realising that Art Pal was there. So from this angle again you'll see, not a lot that Dave or Art Pal got.
I think Bob's copying SRI out the exit. SRI doesn't.
I know, look
really
at this!
lead
Look at
to
this! Look at, yeah! Oh. Okay, so this is Art Pal's bonnet view, which obviously I don't think this is the view he uses, but it's just a slightly different view. Actually got a good run. Now Dave he is defending, which is absolutely fine. And if you're in Art Pal's position here, pre-corner, there's no way you'd have been able to see Bob arriving. But what I do want to show is the view from Bob, because I can kind of understand, naughty Bobby. I don't think he did that on purpose. But yeah, so this is Bob. Now, what's going to happen down the end of this straight is, it will look like there's a big space that he can go into. However, it isn't really there. So at this point, he's braked too late. Now he's in that space. And from this camera angle, it doesn't look that bad. But that's where you have to... Yeah, that's why looking at all the other camera angles is a good idea. So we're going to have another look at this here. So I don't know if we may pause it at different points. I don't know if you want to sort of take over commenting on that.
I'm kind of a second or two behind you, so I'll let you keep going. You're doing well.
Alright, so at these points, this is absolutely fine, but Bob being on the inside line has to brake more than the cars next to him to be able to make the corner. If there was no cars ahead of them, then what Bob does is fine. However, Demon R and SRI are on the brakes just after the 150, which is a good braking point for this corner. But a car on the inside needs to brake before and more. Now Bob is on the brakes, but it is a little too late and there's no way he can stop this car. Now I don't know whether we'll see the details of it, but Bob will actually be fully on the brakes all the way to the apex, and this corner's not one where you would do that. So although for Bob it appears there is space ahead of him, he has got into that space way too late, which gives Dave the Harp and Art Pal no opportunity to realise that his car is there. The other part being that once Bob's got to this position, okay, we saw there, he is still fully on the brakes. Once he's got into this position where his car would have then gone if Dave wasn't there. So this is what you could class as an unfair attempted overtake on Dave the Harp. However, Bob does appear to make sure that Dave the Harp ends up back ahead of him, and that's where I think he gets a little caught out. So he's letting Dave ahead of him, goes to tuck in behind him, not realising that Art Pal, or maybe confused by the radar, not realising that Art Pal's nose was there. So I just want to pause that one there for a moment before we go on to the next one. So for that, the penalty wasn't for the little nudge on the exit of the corner. That was just commented on that, he wasn't quite aware that he's not left enough room. It was an unfair overtake on Art Pal. So the overtake on SRI and Demon R, fine. Now Bob may have, if there was no other cars, may have gone straight on and gone off. Wouldn't have been a problem. Because that's what could have happened. The unfair bit was the gaining a position on Art Pal by making that late move. Now some Ray would say, well, what's the difference between that and the one with Jason and Art Pal at the hairpin? That was a very late move.
The space was there. Jason was in control of the vehicle. The contact was with Art Pal going for the apex, which he was rightful to do so. and Jason done his best to give Art Pal room on exit as well, where Bob has come in late, his car isn't under control, he's hit a car that helps him to go around the corner, and it's overtaking a car as well.
Absolutely.
And
Now, the interesting
anything else I've missed?
read the steward's report. Now, there is another interesting part of the one with Art Pal and Jason, which we never really showed at the time. But interestingly, Art Pal did go through the chicane before it. He got a bit out of shape and was slow. So Art Pal going into the hairpin also braked at the normal point, because his speed wasn't as high as it normally would have been. His car slowed down quicker than it normally would, so it did help in closing that. So Jason braking at the normal point, like that gap has closed quicker. So there are other factors as well. But yeah, with this one, I mean, we tend to, as stewards, we say, right, first of all, are they within fair range? And with this one, Bob was not within fair range to attempt the overtake on Art Pal and Dave the Harp. Okay, if they're not within fair range and they've gone for a late move, are they fully in control of their car? If the answer to that is no, then it's not going to be looking good for them. So unfortunately for Bob on this one, it is an unfair overtaking against the penalty. Anything else to add on that?
Nope.
Okay, right, well, that's the steward. Is that all the stewarding ones done? I think that's all the stewarding ones done. Right, so we can just crack on with whatever else we've got. So let's rattle through these, shall we? So let's get ready to crack on in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. G4 SGP parking it in the bomb. So this was from race 1. Now this was one we actually talked about last week that we'd like to have a look at. So SGP and Dave the Arp go through Mitch's bomb hole. SGP just tags the wall on both sides. Dave tags the back of him, and then there's a spin around. Now this was one where SGP waited for him, when he wasn't sure himself whether it was something he should wait for, or we sort of posed a question. So it'd be interesting to, I mean, this is not as a steward's view that we're looking at this. This is just as a, oh look, this happened, what do you reckon? So, what do you reckon?
Just watching it. It's he's hit there, bounced, controlled it. I don't know.
I mean, I must admit, looking at that,
like,
SGP's
Dave
made
the
a
Harp
mistake.
has nowhere to go, so he's gonna.
I think it's just, that is massively unfortunate, isn't it? Oh, Demon R, you dirty little...
Yeah.
It's Demon R's fault, that fucker. Well, let's
do that.
Yeah, let's have a look at this then. Could he not have avoided it?
But you're not going to see anything there.
I mean, I'll just quickly pause that there. Go on. Well, I say pause it before the next one. So, yeah, go on. Your thoughts?
I don't know. I think that would be one for SGP to decide on himself if he wanted to wait for or not. I couldn't tell you what I would do because I don't know, because I wasn't there.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, at the time I didn't realise I'd actually really made contact with Dave, but when I was watching this back, I mean, I looked at it and I was like, well, should I have waited? I mean, there was absolutely nothing I could have done. I mean, I was aiming where there was space, and it was only once their contact had happened. But then would I mean, okay, SGP's made a mistake, he's hit the wall. But does that then mean he has to wait for Dave? I don't know. I don't think as a rule we would have said, oh, you gotta wait for him. But SGP did feel like he should wait for Dave, so
He done more of sportsman-like shit there.
Yeah, absolutely. What's that, sportsman-like shit? Or do you mean sportsman-like? Okay, right. Well, let's crack on to the next one. So, in 3, 2, 1, let's go. G5, even champions make silly mistakes. Now, this one, Ray, you saw on commentary while I was looking up Mad, and you thought that Twilight had binned it on his own over the top of the hill. And now you get to have another look at what really happened. So I'll let you talk about this one.
What did you do that for?
Well, he was in my way.
You naughty boy. I hope you waited.
Oh, I did. I mean, to be fair, I was having a lovely little battle with Twilight, and the different lines and a slightest little bit of understeer coming up just here. And I mean, there was nothing I could. Well, no, I could have lifted off and backed out before that had happened, but I didn't know I was going to get the understeer. And yeah, I felt really bad for Twilight because that was late on in the race as well. And he was so impressed with me that he put his hazards on. He's like, "You're a fucking hazard, you are. You're a fucking champion, you are." Right, should we go straight into the next one there? So G6, tunnels. I don't know what this one could be. Oh, hang on, it's Demon R and Jason.
Dave the Heart.
And SGP. Oh, is this? This is the big crash. Oh, yeah, this is the one that collected everybody apart from the front three. Look, smash. Now, interestingly, I don't know if you've seen much of the footage of this one, but I've shown my in-car view here, because at the time I said to SGP there isn't the space there, and that's because on this view, it doesn't look like there's any space to the left of me. So I'm thinking there's no way someone's coming up the inside of there. I did move across because my radar showed me as being ahead. Turns out that was an issue. So SGP's view of it is this. So
that's not big enough.
That's what she said. Now you've commented on that, not me. So from Dave the Arp's view, we'll look at it from a couple of different angles. It's
no. I wouldn't be going for that. That's too tight.
There's no point going for it when it's too tight, is it? You need too much lubrication. Now, okay, so just ride on board here.
No, there's no way. Especially with the contour of the racetrack, and you've got somebody else beside you.
Just wait for this bit though.
Oh, can hell.
I mean, I can understand SG. I mean, he may have thought that like I was moving over the road. I mean, I don't blame SGP. Jimmy, nearly in the wall. But yeah, I mean, the views from inside was quite interesting from inside the cars. Oh, look at these four all just cruising along. Oh dear, Jimmy thinks he's safe. Nope. So, and interestingly, for some reason, Art Powell's car is livery plain white. I don't know why. But yeah, so I don't know.
Oh, then, yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. It looks like there's more of a gap there than from my in-car view. Yeah, the gap does. I mean, I'm already moving left, and yeah, that's unfortunate with SGP there. So I won't say anything else on that. I'll let everybody else comment on that one. I do believe though SGP did wait for everybody. I mean, I did wonder whether I should have done. I genuinely don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, so we're looking into the slow-mo. Go on then, talk us through the slow-mo.
Yeah, that is very tight for a car with space. You can see Demon R's already turning before SGP gets on him.
I mean, the thing I don't know, because I don't use the view SGP uses, I don't know where the front of his car is, like in length and width. So, like with Art Pal and Connor at turn 1, I've left some bits in it. Art Pal and Connor, not turn 1, the last corner at the second race. On the front bumper view, it looked like there may not have been contact, but there actually was. So this is the same view, but then with the bonnet there. So, excuse me.
I think it's just a lip under the aerodynamic lip under the bumper at the front has just caught onto the rear of your bumper. Yeah, I don't think he's up. I think it's more or less that. I don't think. Nah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be doing that.
Well, I'll say no more.
Stupid stuff.
Right,
Bridges.
fucking
Bridges.
bridges. I don't know. I wonder what this one. Oh, hang on. Were we on board with SGP again? It's the SGP show. Now, admittedly, I don't know if this was the camera angle you had when recording, really, because you don't see shit on this view.
No, I did a different one.
All right. And I tried recording this quite a few different times, and it just kept giving me the same bloody camera view. So we'll ride on SGP and we'll see what happens here.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, tank slapper.
Crash.
Now, some of the camera angles from the other cars are interesting here. So this is Jason, and I mean, I did wonder, like, was Jason the call, but he wasn't. SGP was already going left, and they had a tank slapper right. Well done to Jason though here. It would have been so easy just to floor this and spin it, but clearly he can't do that, so he's waited for everyone to go past and then just driven into the wall. By the way, spinning it round, you can't really do it with traction control. So, Demon R's view...
Oh, you're using traction control.
He got traction control on. So, Demon R's view just misses it. And I'll tell you what, from these camera views here, you are either lucky or you're fucked. So, Steve F1... fucked. Double fucked.
Look at speed of SRI after Bob hits.
I know. That's what you're proper boosting now. Art pal, watch this. He'll say it was skill. I'll say it was luck.
Yeah, that was luck.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those cars could have gone anywhere then. Now, SRI, this was definitely bad luck. Almost.
And then good luck.
Wait for it. From 60 to 120. So, Bob. Bob had an interesting view of all this. I mean, which way do I go? Oh, okay, I'll go this way. Everything's fine. Oh, there's an SRI. Steve F1 must have been wood. What the fuck did you come from with that speed? Okay, so yeah, so SGP was unlucky. Dipped the wheel on the AstroTurf there, and around he goes. Yeah, bosh. Now, interestingly as well, SGP had gone a little wide on a previous corner. Whether that had an effect, I don't know. Right, pause it, Ray, before this next one. Okay. So, this one, Ray, I'm going to want you to watch and listen to this one, okay? Now, I'm going to say nothing to begin with until a certain point has ended. Now, this was, I believe, the big crash that happened in race 2 with the last few laps to go. So I'm going to want you to watch this. So I'll do a countdown to play, and then I shall introduce it, and I shall let you watch and see what you think. Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's crack on in 3, 2, 1, let's go. G8! Did the wall just turn in on him? It's a big one.
Oof! Fucking hell.
Oh, it's a big one.
The iceberg came out and green. Jesus Christ, you could probably do the harp in the eyes.
Oh dear. Now, I was going to put some other music on to other bits, but to be honest, you can only listen to that squeal every small amounts. So on this one, unfortunately, it's a massive chain of events where Dave ran a little wide, hit the wall, and then there was nothing any of the following cars could do. I mean, there is an interesting point I'll but I'll point out. So Dave was seen running wide there, and drivers' choices have a massive effect on what happened in that corner as well. So Steve F1 got through quite nicely. He defended from Bob, which meant he was on the inside and away from Dave. And that also meant that Bob would slow down, and so Bob was safe. SRI, though, now Artpal goes for the move. What a move! But that puts him right in the path of Dave the Arp. SRI thinks, thank you very much. Formally, this is Artpal making the move. Nothing wrong with that. Probably thinking, yeah, buzzing. All right, get another one. Oh, no, not anymore. And then SRI says, no, you can spin around instead. Ooh, holy cow. Then we're going to have a look at the next car. So this is Gary. So Artpal and Ray battling. Gary spots it.
Boost again?
Yep, big boost. And Gary survives. Now SGP. So what's he going to do? He's following Gary. Can't see. Oh, dear. Yeah, oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. So unfortunate. Jimmy, I think, has managed to get through, but then Jimmy's got nowhere to go. But we'll have another look at Jimmy in a moment, I'm sure. So Demon R, how did he get on? So SGP was kind of covering off Demon R. Holy cow. So, yeah, lucky for definite. Okay, Twilight, let's see how he got on through here. Lovely entry to the corner. Oh, it's so unlucky. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. I could have put Twilight's music on, couldn't I? From the films. I don't know what the music is. So Jimmy, no one's around. Jimmy comes round the corner and it's a car. Holy shit, car. I thought I put a cat. No, it was a Nissan. It was a Nismo Superleggera. So yeah, but, so massively unfortunate for Dave, but fucking hilarious for us to watch.
Yeah.
Not for Dave. It's just the knock-on effects is funny.
The knock-on effect.
Now, I did say something I was going to point out, which was I thought I'd actually left the clip in on it, but clearly I didn't. I don't know if Dave at the time wondered where his gripper's gone, but interestingly, I mean, I know on commentary we talked about it, Ray, about if you're fully on the brakes too late, it will just go straight on. And that is literally exactly what happened to Dave there. He was a little late on getting on the brakes, and then he was fully on the brakes for a period of distance while also trying to turn, all of which was happening a bit late. Then he's on the marbles, now he's gone wide. Whereas on previous laps, he'd have braked a bit earlier and he'd have been off the brakes when turning. But unfortunately, because the braking came later and he was turning when full braking, the car just went straight on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As for Rich, I can't believe he didn't get out of the way.
I know. He just sat there.
Oh, you know what? I very nearly had the Jurassic Park theme tune on as well. See, I've got that stuck in my head, not the Titanic ones.
And then instead of the dinosaur roaring, just the screeching at tires.
Oh, yeah. Oh, screeching. Okay. Right, well, I do believe that is the end of the G-Spot. Nothing else really for us to cover. Other than, where did you come up with the names for your twins? Because if anyone doesn't know, you've had twins. Well, Kirsty's had the twins. You produced them. Where did you come up with the names for them?
Well, Kirsty, Joshua, ever since we had Kieran. After Kieran, sorry. If there was ever another baby, it was a boy, it was called Joshua. I don't know, I like the name Skyline, but I thought I'd make it more better, Skylar.
So to stop her from sounding like a Nissan Skyline, you've turned her into a Skylar Ray. That's fair enough. It's an interesting name. I mean, if I had twins, I'd call one Kate and the other one Duplicate.
And also, I think we
Did you not get that? Was that just that bad that it just bypass it? So go on, you were saying.
And we were looking at what the baby names mean, what names mean,
Oh, yeah.
and that. So
Fair enough.
we went. Because we went on a list of them to see and whatnot.
Fair.
Oh,
Well, I wasn't making a joke about your children's names. I was making a joke about what I'd call my twins, and you just completely blanked it. Shocking.
sorry, I never heard it, to be honest.
You didn't hear it! Oh, dear no. Well, I'm not saying it again. You'll have to listen to it on the G-Spot. Right. Anything else you want to mention before we call it a night on this one?
No, I don't think there's anything else to say.
No. Not that I can think of. Anything we want to mention about Le Mans? Ooh.
What about?
I don't know. I was just wondering, but I have just remembered about qualifying may either be longer, shorter, or different.
Yeah, because everybody thought that they had a power cut.
I must admit, it is. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know, we were on Monday night doing practice around Cirque de la Sarthe, Le Mans with no chickens, and we're doing a 10-minute qualifying session. And it's about 4 minutes a lap, and so you do your out lap, you start a flying lap, and you get to start a second flying lap. 2 minutes into that second flying lap, all of a sudden everyone's screens go black. And everyone's like, whoa, what's going on here? Thinking there's a power cut. No, there's a time limit on the end of qualifying. So we say to SGP, oh, maybe you just haven't got it set long enough, so we'll carry on, we'll do the practice race and then you can have a look. So we did the practice race, he had a look, the time limit was set to 2 minutes 25, and the maximum it can be set to is 3 minutes. But a lap around Le Mans takes over 4 minutes in these cars that we're using, and as soon as the timer gets to 0, it ends. So no finishing the lap you're on, you've got 10-minute qualifying plus 3 minutes, then it's over, which I must admit is absolutely bullshit.
Bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's the same for time length races, which is one of the reasons why we're not doing time length races. Because, yeah, the leader would cross the line, it'd start a timer, and if you don't cross the line within that time, it's race over. So, yeah, again, bullshit. So, yeah, I would hope that they change. I mean, maybe they just didn't expect people to race around Le Mans in cars that can't do it in less than 3 minutes, but, yeah. So, I mean, we need to decide how we're going to deal with it, and it might be worth reminding the other two that we need to sort that out. But one way that was suggested was to hold a 10-minute practice session rather than a qualifying session. Another option was to have the qualifying session be 12 minutes long, which would effectively give you 15 minutes total, so everyone would be able to finish their second lap. But yeah, we'll see what happens on that one. So yeah. Right, okay, well, if there's nothing else...
I think your breaking point is before it starts flashing.
Yeah, way before. Also, the kink. Be aware of the kink. Not the kink before the corner, the Mulsanne corner, the other kink after where the last chicane would normally be. Because that was funny on Monday, where I'm ahead of 3 cars, I'm looking in my rear view mirror, look forward, realise, oh shit, it's the corner. I turned and watched all 3 cars behind me go sliding straight off into the barrier.
Yep.
Yeah. One of which being Steve F1, Jason and you, I believe. Or was it Twilight?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Twilight, but I know
Jason,
I was
Steve and you, yeah. You sliding straight on. But, right, okay, we'll wrap this up then. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you for joining us, Ray.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're very, very welcome. And tell Kirsty next time you have twins, it's Kate and duplicate. Okay, right. Have a good day, everyone. And we'll see you all again soon.
Ta-da!